Hello. Hi.
Hey, how are ya? Is
Good. I'm testing my sound.
that the new office behind you?
Yeah,
Oh, it looks nice.
thanks. I wanted to turn my actual office into like a recording studio at the same time, so I had to
Yeah.
be smart with my background.
Yeah, look at my dingy one. I gotta work on that.
Dingy? For real?
Yeah. I'm
No.
not a fan. I
Ah,
gotta,
I
I gotta
like
figure.
it.
Do you like it? I don't know. We gotta figure it out.
Are you in that conference room?
No, I'm in like just an office nobody uses. So I
Oh,
set this up, but I don't know.
I forgot that I chose to do a waiting room instead of a passcode because whenever there's a passcode involved, I get 8,000 text messages at the beginning like, "What's the passcode? What's the passcode?"
Nobody can get in.
Yep. So I did a waiting room, so I have it up here. Hey Kate, I'm gonna make you a something. How do I make you another host?
Um, I think you have to be the one to assign it. I don't think I can request it.
But if I make you a host, will it continue recording? Let's find out.
Should.
Okay, you're the host now. Okay. All right, guys. Hi. It's still recording, so that's good. Hi everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I wanted to give everyone a little bit of time to jump in, get started. Cool. All right, so I'm going to get started. There are just 9 of us on here today, and I'm assuming more people will jump on because I think I had like 35 people register. So I wanted to start by thanking you all for joining and letting you know that this is just going to be a weekly mastermind. And the whole idea, the theme behind this mastermind is for involvement from everybody. So I'm hoping that some of you can turn your cameras on and be involved because this isn't just me coaching everybody or me talking and chit-chatting. I don't want to hear the sound of my own voice this whole call. I want more people to get involved. Hey, Laura. See, she turned her camera on. You were all Valentines. Look at you. I love it. Um, so yeah, so jump in. I want to hear some input. I want to hear from other people what they're doing, and I'm hoping that as we continue the call, we'll get some more things going. So today's theme, um, first Tuesday of every month, the theme is best practices, and we'll do some sub themes. So the sub theme for today is going to be daily habits of successful agents. And I don't want to talk about, waking up and working out or waking up and reading a book and things like that. Like, that's a very personal thing. I just want to talk about daily habits of successful real estate agents. So people that are crushing it in the real estate world or people that are building up to crush it. What are we all doing? But before we get started, one thing that I definitely think is important is a lender update. So I'm here to introduce our guest lender for the week, Tori McKim with Union Home Mortgage. I've worked with her almost my entire career.
A lot of years.
9 years, yeah, 8 or 9 years now. Honestly, one of the most, we call her the OCD lender because she is on it with her follow-up and her checklist, and she makes sure she fully pre-approves people. So Tori, can you jump in here and give us a quick lender update? What's going on with the rates and anything new going on in the mortgage market?
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me. Nice to see. I know some of you, don't know some of you, but I'm Tori. So like she said, I'm from Union Home Mortgage. So yeah, I just figured I don't want to take too much of your time. I'll just do a quick market update. I know everything's a little crazy, a little up and down over, especially in the mortgage world. And I know clients probably ask you guys gazillion questions. Rates are staying pretty steady around the sevens. If you're lucky, the high sixes, and obviously you can always buy it down more. When clients ask me what rates are, it's kind of what do you want to pay for it, truly and honestly. Obviously, I don't say it like that, but yeah, if you want just kind of like a very round number, right now we're staying in the sevens. I think we're going to stay there for a little bit when the Fed announced that they are not going to make another rate cut. I think I'm gonna stay right there for a while. I always joke if I had a crystal ball, though, I'd be super rich. So who knows? Um, and then just some industry news I wanted to give you guys. So I don't know if, and I am not gonna lie to you, I am not big into politics, so take this all with a grain of salt. But the tariff thing yesterday definitely led to some uncertainty in the market. So the Treasury, 10-year Treasury has gone up a little bit. So that usually means rates are going to go up a little bit. Hopefully that will be very temporary. Always hard to say, but obviously the things going on in politics do affect rates. So have to stay a little bit knowledgeable on that stuff. So that's kind of like the big thing in our world. We're watching that. And then what the jobs report's going to do this week and a few things like that. And just I wanted to give you guys a few tips on ways that may help you guys sell, whether that's getting buyers or sellers. One is, at least in my world, for me as a lender, I am seeing more seller concessions. Yes.
Yay.
I know that's not every house, obviously. I wish it was, but we are seeing it a little more with houses sitting a little longer. So that's great for buyers that, want to get a little lower rate, but don't necessarily want more out of pocket. They can use that to whether it be a permanent buy down or a 2-1 buy down. And same thing with sellers. Like if you do have a house that's sitting and you don't want to do a price drop or a price reduction, offering seller concessions for a 2-1 buy down is amazing. I know I can think off the top of my head about 10 of my clients that would literally jump on a house just because it offered that. So if you do have a house sitting, I highly suggest that. I think it's a great idea. And then just some alternate income loans, because I know in this economy, income is not straight salary like 99% of the time. I wish it was for my sake, but it's not. So we do offer quite a few alternative loans like the DSCR for investors or investment properties, bank statement loans for self-employed buyers. And then we just got a 1099 loan. And I will not lie to you, I'm not an expert, but I am learning. So it is supposed to help you qualify off just your 1099 income, not looking at tax returns. I'm really excited about it. I think that will help a lot of buyers. So I'm looking to dig into that more. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you guys that stuff. If you have questions or want to run a scenario by me ever, let me know. I'm always here. But yeah, thanks for letting me get on.
Yeah. Hey, Tori, can you email me, gather some more information about the basics and the qualifications for the 1099
Yeah,
loans and email it to me so I can post it to the group?
absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. I've never
Yeah.
heard of a
I'm
1099
super
loan.
excited. Yeah, I just got to learn more, but I'll do that for you today or tomorrow.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Tori about the lending side or the market? Cool. Well, Tori, you are welcome to hang with us, or it's up to you. I know that it's
Yeah, I may
busy.
hang for a few minutes. I'm gonna mute
Okay.
myself. I may hang for a few minutes.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, go ahead, Laura.
I actually do have a question, but I don't know if it's lending or title or what, but maybe anyone in this group could help. Um, I represent a buyer and they ran a title search. There's like $17,000 in liens. Seller can't really afford it. So now we're going to the bank to see about a short sale. Does anybody understand that process? And like, does that mean we can still stick with offering on the house? Or like, I'm not familiar with that process.
I
As
have
far
a
as lending, I can't speak to the contract side of things on, if you guys are under contract, somebody else will be able to do that much better. Lending side, we do a lot of, well, not a lot anymore, but short sales. It just takes a lot of time. So I will tell you, you're probably 3 to 6 months out from the bank approving that. It goes through a lot of hoops. So it just kind of depends on your borrower's timeline on, if they want that. But yeah, it's getting the bank to pretty much agree to selling the house for less than, the seller owes. So.
I have some short sale experience. I know how to get through the process, and the loan, the mortgage holder plays a huge key in the timeline of when it sells. So just message me after this and I'll walk you through it. But I've done some decent 12-month long short sales and 90-day short sales. So I'll let you know. Cool. Thanks, Tori. Thanks, Laura. Appreciate you guys. All right, so we're gonna jump in. And like I said, for those of you that are just joining the call, this is a mastermind. This is not a coaching session. So I really want interaction and input. The theme behind today's mastermind is best practices, but we're really gonna focus on daily habits from the perspective of being a successful business owner, being a successful real estate agent. So I want to jump in and kind of just start the discussion by a quote, and that is one of the things that top producers have in common, and top producers meaning agents. I mean, I think they said the average agent sold 0 homes last year. Didn't I read that? Was it 0 homes on the NAR report? And if you sold like 10 or more homes, you were in the top like 2% in the US or something, or top 1% if you sold more than 10 homes. So one of the things top producers have in common is that they rely on strong daily habits. So that's actually a quote from somebody in the industry. So let's start with, how do you structure your current workday? I'll go first just to get it started, but I treat my real estate business like a job. Like I clock in and clock out. So, because I have small children, so I have to pick them up. So when I clock in for the day, I literally like timestamp myself in and timestamp myself out for my business hours. And that's like a very broad view of how I look at my day. Anybody else?
I'm very similar. I would say I give myself so many hours in the week to work. Sometimes that's, Monday through Friday. Other weeks that's, if I can't do a random Tuesday, then I make up for it on a Saturday or Sunday. But the biggest thing is making sure that I'm dedicating a certain amount of hours to, business hours or at least office hours. And then outside of that, being agents, we have to be flexible with our clients. So there's going to be some extra hours in there worked in the evenings, showings, open houses, stuff like that. But for me, I'm very similar. I have to give myself a certain amount of time every week to sit and get my stuff done. So some weeks are more productive than others, of course, but having that mindset has really, I think, set me apart from where I was just kind of free floating and just trying to kind of make things work. So
So, Kate, do you separate like your office hours versus your like flex time, as I would call it?
yes. So for example, my working hours typically is between 10 to 2. That's more my admin hours or, sitting down and getting done when I can in the office. And then from 2 to 5 is usually my flex time. So that's when I schedule appointments with clients. That's when I'm scheduling other activities that would require me to be away from my computer, away from my desk.
That makes perfect sense. I think that, like, because we're real estate agents, right? We're showing homes, we're going on listing appointments, and like, sometimes you're working on a Sunday evening or a Wednesday night or something like that. But I think being like honing in on just some business hours, because how else are you going to grow a business if you don't focus on the growth part versus just going on the appointments part, in my opinion. Anyone else? What do you guys do? Trent, what do you do? What's your daily habit?
Uh, I just lately I got like 4,000 contacts that are just kind of like haven't reached out to, just general online leads that are just kind of crap or I'm trying to filter through. So lately I've just been coming in here trying to make 50 phone calls. I don't think about last time I talked to the people because generally I overthink it like, hey, I just spoke to them a week ago. It's not, I just call them who's ever on my list to call. And I just call them out just to see where they're at. It's resulted in 3 appointments this week, scheduled appointments. So it works. But then to Kate's point, you get into like the admin stuff, which I don't do very well. But right now it's just hammering out those phone calls because I don't think this market's going to change anytime soon from 4 to 5 million units. So for me, it's just trying to bust those out and hit that 10 million mark. And the only way to do that for me is to make calls or door knock or whatever it is. So it's
How do you
pure
track it?
prospecting. What's that?
How do you track it? Like, how do you track
Yeah.
if you're making calls
So
or door knocking?
I'm big on CRM. So I have Lofty right now. It was $40 through like Real. So I just track the calls through there and then get my reports through there, see like, hey, how many people I called. And that's my metric. I try to get 25 to 30 by noon or more, and then try to knock out the rest of the afternoon if I can with appointments and stuff. So the goal is 50 calls a day and
Okay.
see where it goes. So the fun
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
So when do I'm just asking because I want to know, like, when do you
Yeah.
start your day? Like what time-ish would you say that you start your calls?
Drop the kids off. I try to get in right around 10 o'clock, like this time frame to start making calls and
Okay.
just sit here. I got an office to myself, so it's kind of no distractions. I just don't turn any music on, no YouTube like I used to, watch stuff while I make calls and I just call and see what happens. So,
Do you follow a script?
not generally. I mean, it's like a lot of them are online leads. I'm like, hey, you reached out a while ago about your home. I'm sure you're not looking to sell now, but you would probably want to know what it might be worth. I was just curious to see where you're at in your process and where you might be. If it's a buyer, I just like, hey, I've reached out a couple times. You probably don't remember talking to me, but you were looking to buy a home a couple years ago or a year ago. Is that something that's still on your plan for 2025? Sometimes they're bad numbers, sometimes, they're the wrong people, but I still ask them if they live in the Dayton area, if they're looking to buy or sell.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really matter. So I just call them. I try to
Okay.
keep it really stupid simple. That works for me.
I love that. That's going to be that's going to be our phrase of the day, our yearbook phrase, stupid simple. Let's
Stupid
keep it
simple.
stupid
There
simple,
you go.
guys. I'm writing that down.
Well, and Trent, I like what you said about you have a specific goal of how many calls you're going to get done that day. And I think that that's huge and being able to measure and track your progress and keeping yourself organized. So um, I was just going to say I applaud you for having like a set hard number as far as what your goal is that day. That's
Yeah, I mean, so I used to run a KW office. I was a team leader for 2 years. So just talking to everybody, it was the same conversation every day to all the agents was, well, I don't know where I'm gonna get business. I'm like, well, how many people would you call or talk to? Like,
Right.
because best thing I ever heard is you can't control the outcome or the results, right? So I could call 50 people, get no conversations. I could call 10 people and have 10 conversations. So it's always the same. It's just like you just got to put in the effort. And for me, there's other ways to do it. I'm not good on database stuff. A lot of my people moved out away, but I just know if I can put in the effort, I feel good at the end of my day. Like I check the box, right? It's like it's when I don't make those phone calls, I get stressed about work and what's going on. So for me, knowing to have that goal of 50, whether I hit 50 or not, it's irrelevant. It's just, hey, I can knock out like 25, 30, 50 calls. You get the appointments for it. So what's the worst that happens?
I mean, there's so much truth to that. And that's like, especially for newer agents coming in the industry, they're all like, where's the leads? Where's the business? Where's the business? And the question is always, well, how many people have you talked to? Because you
Mhm.
you cannot convert leads. And they're like, well, where's all the leads? Well, pick up the phone and create some leads, right? I mean, if that's your goal is to pick up the phone, or maybe it's holding open houses, or maybe it's going to an event. But at the end of the day, how many people did you converse with? How many people have you talked to? And that's how you're going to build a business is you have to like be social, which is hard for it's hard for me. I know
hmm
people
But
probably
I don't like doing it. I wish I was someone I could just post on Facebook, and be like, oh my God, I got a house. Who wants to buy? And then like, I feel like women have an advantage here. I don't know what it is, but it's like I've just never been that person where it just like naturally flows. So for me, it's calling. I just think over the last couple of years, we all had it pretty easy. Like, we kind of got deals. You do an open house, and things just kind of flowed your way.
Mhm.
I talked to a lot of different agents doing a lot of business in our area, like 15, 20, 30, and they're all like, what's going on right now? Like no one really knows this market. It's just it's a tough grinding market. So I just feel like if you're not doing it now, you're gonna by the time you catch up to it, you're gonna be like, crap, what happened? You know what I
Right.
mean? So just trying to
Right.
stay ahead of it. But yeah.
I love it. What about you, Chad? I'm picking on you.
Picking on me.
I'm picking on you.
I
Tell us some of
don't
your
know that you want to learn from me right now. So I'm I've had my license for a couple of years now, but I still consider myself kind of relatively new. Just a little background. I'm a full-time fireman. My wife works full-time right now, so I've got two little kids under the age of 5. So I find myself kind of fumbling through my day a lot of the time. So I'm trying to kind of get in here and learn what everybody else is doing, but just really it's hard for me to make phone calls right now with managing my kids all day.
hmm
So what I'm trying to focus on is just doing handwritten notes, handwritten letters, working my sphere, those kind of things. But yeah, that's my day changes every day. So I go to work for 24 hours at a firehouse and then I'm off for 2 days. So every day is different for me. I just kind of have to roll with the punches right now. That's just the way it is. But yeah, my wife works for the federal government. So with the whole order back in thing, that might change here relatively soon. So
hmm
she's kicking the idea of getting her license as well, and if not, just coming home full time, which would allow me more time to structure my day and kind of go that route. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at.
Good stuff. Kate, raise your hand, Kate, so we can see you. Her husband's a firefighter, and she's deeply involved in the first responder community
Oh,
locally
awesome.
here. So yeah, she knows the life on
Yeah,
the other end.
it can
I
be a
do. And
struggle.
Chad, I was just going to say, if you ever need to kind of figure out, ways to leverage the time that you do have off, I'm happy to talk with you about that, kind of share about my experience and what we do. So
Yeah.
I'm an open book when it comes to that.
I'm gonna toss this out here too. And I'm not trying to sing praises, but I know Kate pretty well. And the girl went from 5, 6, 7 deals a year for the first 4 years in the industry to having a couple more kids. She's now got 3 kids, all under the age of 5, right? Yep, 3 kids, all under the age of 5, a firefighter husband, and she made 6 figures last year selling real estate. And it was all
Awesome.
through referral-based business and time management. So she's a great resource for any of you that need to bounce some stuff. Um, oh, you're good, Lindsay. You're good. Okay. Anybody else want to jump in some daily habits? Go ahead, Michael. What's up?
I just want to say, I'm sure Trent probably has done, but anyone at KW has probably taken the bold classes, and they have a thing called your drunk monkey. You know, you got your drunk monkey on your shoulder, the thing that you don't want to do, or the thing that you talk yourself out of because, well, it won't work. Or so the big one for me was always, I've done a lot of Jeff Glover. I've been to his seminars and everything. And the big one is start at 8 in the morning. And I'm like, what? Make calls to people at 8 in the morning? I'm like, I would never do that because people would be pissed off at me. They wouldn't answer. I probably wouldn't do anything. Believe it or not, more people answered between 8 and 9 than, after that, 10, 11, 12. And be it, getting ready, driving to work, whatever, I seem to get a lot of people. So, I've heard a few people say, hey, start at 10 o'clock and whatnot. And especially if you got kids and are going to be waking up, if you're able to do it earlier, don't be afraid because really, I've never had anyone yell at me when I called early.
Well, that's
And
lucky because I yell at people when they call me at 8. Just saying. Teasing, teasing.
somebody's going to, but
Right.
what do they say? The best four-letter word in real estate is next. Just move on to the next. Just expect to get yelled at,
There's
and
truth
it
to
probably
that.
won't bother you so much.
I think the
And
hard part with that is like everybody operates on different schedules. I think a lot of people get into this career thinking, "Oh, I'm going to have flexibility with my schedule," and that draws them in, and then they realize they're working 80 hours a week to sell as much real estate as they need to sell, and that's hard. So not everybody's available at 8, but I do like you saying like, "Hey, taking the stigma out of calling people between 8 and 9 is bad because
yeah,
it's working for you." So that's really good. And Aaron on my team, he's not on this call right now. I don't know where he is, but he used to be a full-time ISA for 2 years for a really big team around here. So he has brought a lot of value to the table as far as cold calling and scripting and timing and everything. And he agrees with you, Mike, that earlier in the morning and then like after work, like 4 to 6, 4 to 7 p.m., or even later if you can. But those are great times to catch people. I want to ask about so one of the things that I talked to my team about, and I've changed my viewpoint on this over the years. I used to be very big into time blocking. Um, and essentially that means like I would pull up my calendar and I'd block 8 to 9 and I would say cold calling. But not only would I put that in there in the notes of that time block, I would write, I'm going to use Red X and I'm going to call for sale by owners. And I would like actually be very detailed on what I'm going to do as I time block it out in my calendar. Because if you don't, you're going to jump into your calendar to do your task, but you're going to spend the first 20 minutes of your task of the day figuring out how you're going to do it. So figuring out how you're going to do what each task is in advance and kind of blocking it out was how I used to teach. And I still think that that's a very valid way of blocking your day. But then I learned, Caitlin Tasker on this call. Raise your hand. Oh, she's on the phone. All right, thank you. Um, it was a big struggle for Caitlin, like sticking with a time schedule because she has a very like on the go personality and a very like high D. So she's like just working. And so if something popped up, she's like, yeah, I can show you a house. I can be there in 20 minutes. And she'd jump on it. And so what I learned is there's another way of doing it, and that is by scorecards. So if you don't know what a scorecard is, it's basically the idea behind a scorecard or a daily scorecard is a daily checklist. So if you want to call 50 people, that's hi, make a checklist with 50 check boxes and you can print it off every day or make it digital or whatever and check each time you call your 50 people. And then if you're one post on social media, check that off. And so following a checklist of something that you can complete it every day, but not necessarily put a time constraint on. And some people do a combination of both. So if you time block something out in your calendar and you have a set list of things that you want to do, putting those together and getting them done, being purposeful from that. Anybody have any input on how they operate that way?
I know I'm not an agent, but I will tell you that was one of the things in my coaching that they've told us is you don't have a lead problem, you have a communication problem. You're not communicating enough. And I am very much an OCD time blocker, like to the max. But I also do an impact tracker. So it has like how many breaking breads I've done a week, how many face-to-faces, how many phone calls, how many text messages, how many videos. And so I use that in conjunction. And so like at the end of the week, if I haven't gotten through it, like I will try to sit down and make sure either on end of Friday or early Saturday I complete that because it does make sure I not only do because I can get stuck in the admin work like I like that stuff because I'm a weirdo and make sure I don't get stuck in the admin work and I actually do the communication part too and it just helps me balance out my week.
How do you track it? Like, where do you track your checklist?
I have an impact tracker and I keep it on my Remarkable. So it looks like this. I'll show you guys. And I literally, this is a blank one. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but I literally mark on there. It has like phone calls, face-to-faces, breaking breads, how many leads I got that day, pre-approvals, locks, all that stuff.
Girl, so did you like create that on like Canva or something and then no, you just uploaded it as
My coaching program did.
okay.
But yes, and then I did. I have it and I upload it and uploaded it right to my Remarkable and I carry it with me all day, every day.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Laura V, you were about to say something.
I so we have like an Excel spreadsheet, which is like a metrics checklist. And so each person on my team, when during our one-to-one coaching, we sat because, you know, one member on my team really doesn't like phone calls. And the other one's like, give me a dialer and put me in an office. So they're all individualized. And then they have to turn in their numbers to me. And then at our team meeting, we go over the metrics. And so the ones that aren't met, it's not for like punishment. It's just, okay, let's take a look at this. Like, what got in the way? What were your barriers? Like, what can we do to, and so yeah, every week we look at it. We can look at it compared to the week before, you know, just kind of stuff like that. I'm a little bit like obsessive with numbers because I just think it's like an attainable thing, which I think is hard in real estate when it's just kind of like you're just throwing stuff against the wall to try and see what sticks. And we've edited it. I mean, we did it for the good solid month of January, and at our last team meeting, we just kind of collaborated and changed it a little bit, but it's a way for everyone to kind of be held accountable. So they can, you know, time block, don't time block, whatever. But what I do on my, you know, weekly calendar is kind of like that scorecard. I probably should invest in a Remarkable because I'm literally handwriting it in a paper calendar.
Yes.
So I have it right in front of me. But yeah, I mean, I think a scorecard is more my MO, but time blocking is definitely something that a couple people on my team really like. And I think Jordan has input.
Hi there. Hey, so I'm Laura's admin. So I do all of our like marketing, our event planning, transaction coordination. And I know with a lot of what I do, I'm not like a pen and paper kind of person. That's for like my chicken scratch. And then I type it into a system that I use called Sansama. And
How
it
do you
kind of
spell that?
blends. Yeah, it blends everything. So Sunsama is Sunsama. I have a task list in there and I can set it up to where I know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll probably need to do something. So when I get to Monday, that task is already in that sheet for me. And then I can time block it and link it to my Google Calendar, and I can bring in my Gmail. So I can look at all the tasks I have, all the different systems that I use in one place, and I can kind of time block my day out. So I kind of go day by day just with the industry that we're in, because we never know when we're going to go under contract on something, or if we need to get something out for marketing for an event. So I'll wake up, come into work at 9 a.m. and from 9 to 9:30, I'm planning my day out and time blocking. But my list is there that I know, okay, here's all of the things that I can manage today. And if I need to move it to another day, I can. But then I can check that list off as I go through the day. And it feels really good at the end of the day to see all the work that I'm putting in. So
I
that's
like
my
it.
my little
I wrote that
tidbit.
down, Sunsama. We've got a
Yeah.
lot of things. I'll follow up with a post in WorkVivo with some of our keywords from today. Stupid simple, drunk monkey, and Sunsama. So awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Something that I
Yeah.
do, and for those of you that aren't like super operations oriented, so like diving deep into the CRM and setting up all of your stuff. Like some people really struggle with that because it's like a beast and setting up the beast is difficult. Um, so if you have a Gmail account, there's Google Forms. And something that I do for my team and that you all can each do for yourself too is every person on my team has a Google form with like 5 or 6 questions on it. And at the end of every day, they fill out their Google form, and I call it the accountability form. And so, like, question number one, did you do your 50 calls? Question number two, did you interact on social media? Question number three, did you do your pop buys today? Did you schedule your open house? Like things like that. And then I go in every day, and I have my people go in every day, and they answer the questions. And the questions in Google Forms automatically update to an Excel spreadsheet. So over time, you can track every day if you did what you're supposed to do or not. And you can actually get some like feedback on what's working and what's not working and the consistency and what you're doing really well and what you're not doing well. So Google, it's so easy to create a Google form, guys. Anybody, you just log into Google, go down to forms, create your form, create your questions, save the link, paste it to your computer and fill out your Google form every day, and it'll help you kind of keep that accountability and track it too. Anybody have anything else on this subject? Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm gonna speak for Lindsay here. Lindsay has the flu, so she has no voice. But she said her biggest way to connect is sending out a minimum of 10 video text messages a day. Usually people she hasn't talked to in a bit, wishing them a happy birthday, happy anniversary, asking them how their vacation went. She says she most of the time never even brings up real estate. She sends it through Facebook Messenger. Oh, that's really smart. See? So if you send the video through Facebook Messenger, they're going to have to click the video in Messenger, which increases your algorithm on Facebook to that person. So they're more likely to see your posts. How about that stuff? Good stuff, Lindsay. And then they usually click on your profile and see what you've been up to. So your profile will speak volume if you keep up consistently with posting on what you've been doing. Good stuff, Lindsay. So that's something else that we do here on the team, although I didn't implement it from that perspective. That's good stuff, Kate. We should tell the team about that. So one of the things about Facebook algorithms, FYI for all of you, is if you're working Facebook or social media or Instagram from a business perspective, there is an algorithm to it. So you post, but the people that you interact with, when you click their profile, when you message them, when you see them, they're more likely to see your stuff. So like if you actively spend time every day interacting with your sphere and your people on social media and then post, they're going to see your stuff. So you're keeping your stuff relevant to them. So that's really smart, reaching out to your people, sending them a message, depositing coins into their bank, not talking about real estate, but just cultivating that relationship with them. That's good stuff.
Hey, Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good thing. When you don't see people, they're probably not seeing you. You go to their page purposely And something that I learned, oh, I don't know, 6, 7 months ago. If you really want to work your city or there's a way, and I can't really go into the details how, but you can go in there and find all of your friends. Like I live in North Olmsted, so I can go in, find all of my friends, Facebook friends who live in North Olmsted. I can start going to their page and maybe messages them directly. Then all of a sudden you start showing up, on their things. So if you're trying to work an area, even if it's a different city, go in there, look for all your friends in that city and start interacting specifically with them, and you'll come up more on their page.
Yep. Yep. It's all about the algorithm. I 100% agree with that. That's good stuff. Okay. So I'm just rolling through some prompting questions here. Lead generation seems to be something that a lot of people struggle with, is where to find the leads. My opinion on that is leads are everywhere. It's your conversion skills you need to work on. So how do you get a lead and turn them into a client? So let's talk about daily habits when it comes to lead generation. What are some of the things that y'all do to increase the leads that you have coming in? I'm going to ask somebody who's not on camera to jump in. Autumn. Faraz. Hey, Faraz. Autumn, jump in. What do you do? What do you do for lead generation?
Hold on one second. Sorry. I'm babysitting.
You're good.
I'm the Ninja system. So I took the Ninja course a few years back. And so mine is time blocking, reaching out to, I do anniversary cards. It's two, um, like letters or notes to clients per day, but I'm a sphere. Like I work the heck out of my sphere. So that's where, I mean, probably 90% of my business is from past clients. So that's where my leads come from.
Good stuff. I mean, I like it. I think a lot
Yeah.
of people work the sphere side. Faraz, for those of you that
Yes,
don't know
ma'am.
Faraz, this dude is awesome. I
How
want
you doing today?
I want to hear your voice. What do you do to generate leads?
So here's what I do. I go to my CRM and I rotate between old clients. So I reach out to five to 10 old clients a day. And I ask them about their day, their plan. Most of my clients is either second or third, like not a first time home buyer, and the investor. So we just shoot the shit for a couple minutes, either a phone call or a text. Okay. Then I say, hey, remember, if you want the same experience we have, me and you, let me know who I can help. And next thing you know, a day or two go by and I receive a text message, hey, this person might be buying, this person might be selling. And just like you say, it's not the leads is out there, but you have to your power to convert the lead.
Mm-hmm.
It's the key. So
I love it. I love it. And for these mastermind calls, can we all agree that we're allowed to be ourselves? Like I swear, I have to stop myself from swearing, but I'm a swear. I was in the military for 8 years and I spent my time swearing all day long. So if you have a problem with that, reach out to me
hey
because
guys, I throw the F bomb every other word. So hey, I mean, excuse me already. So, but that's who I am. So
no, you're good. You're good. I just wanted to throw it out there that this is a safe place and we can be ourselves and not judge each other on this call. So just be yourself on this call. So good stuff. Thank you for us. I like that. I'm seeing a theme in daily habits. Lindsay, Trent and everybody. Like the theme of people who sell real estate is they're having conversations with people every day. Like period. Whether it's your sphere or your cold calling, they are every single day reaching out to people like it's their business plan, it's their purpose. So I just wanted to point that out. I love it. Who else? What else do you guys do daily for lead generation? Let's see. Laura, Miss Elite Agent. Laura Pitek just made Elite Agent here at Real Broker. So congratulations. Everyone give her a round of applause. How'd you do it? Where'd you get your leads from? Maybe she's not listening, guys.
Listening. I
There
am
she is.
listening. I am listening. Sorry. I
You're
couldn't
good.
figure out how to unmute it. One program that I totally love, big advocate for, is send out cards. Most of my business is repeat business and people that I already know. So my sphere of influence. And so I love using send out cards to keep up with people, house anniversary cards, holiday cards, Valentine cards. What's fun with that is you could throw in like a $5 or a $10 Starbucks card. So if somebody sends me a referral, such as like I have a estate lawyer that I keep in contact with like regularly. If you don't have an estate planner, you need one because they are coming across with people that have estates constantly, and then they need a qualified person to sell that estate. So that's one of my little tools that I love to use. Big advocate for send out cards.
How many cards a day would you say you send out?
I should send out 5 a day. That was my goal. My goal was to be 5 a day. It's whether I keep up with that goal or not.
Gotcha. Okay. I used to use send out cards a lot and I switched over. I use Follow Up Boss as my CRM, which I love. And I just signed up for AM cards, which is very similar to send out cards, but it actually integrates with Follow Up Boss. So you can send a card through Follow Up Boss using AM cards, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But that's cool. Okay, good. Good stuff. And congratulations, Laura.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Samantha Markowski from the Markowski team. I don't think we've officially met, but I'm gonna ask you, hey girl, you unmuted. I love it. What do you do for lead generation?
Well, I'm actually just fun fact no longer with the Markowski team. So I actually went solo.
Okay.
But I actually just started Follow Up Boss as well. I'm still playing around with that, but I've been in contact with Josh and we're just like working one-on-one as far as like coming up with like a good game plan. But really same thing, just diving into my sphere of just all my people that I already know. I recently just got engaged, and my fiance is actually a contractor, so he knows a lot of people around here. He's actually working on a house right now, and they just said that they're wanting to sell. And he gave him my card, and they just
Yay.
sent me their info today, so that's on my game plan as far as reaching out to them. So I'm trying to work on my relationships with my past clients, but there's just kind of like a little hiccup with being from the team and then
Right.
transitioning on my own. So I'm just trying to restart and start from the bottom. But yeah.
Well, congratulations on your engagement and for going
Thank you.
solo. It is honestly really big step for team agents to step out on their own, especially when you've been comfortable doing something for so long. So congrats on all of it.
Thank you.
You know, we will have a whole mastermind about AI or more than one mastermind about AI. But I would like to bring up that if you are not using ChatGPT, you should be. And let me just give you a specific example. For those of you that use a CRM and you're trying to reach out to your past clients, creating an email action plan campaign that you can set up on your old past clients. And I'm not talking, don't do the salesy stuff. Reach out to me for all your buyers and sellers needs. Jump into ChatGPT and say, Dear ChatGPT, my name is so and so, and I'm a real estate agent in this area. I love long walks on the beach, and I love to cook, and I like to ride horses, and all of that stuff. Tell it a little bit about you and that you're a real estate agent, and then say, I would like to do some email marketing to my past clients in my sphere. Help me come up with some storytelling style marketing emails. Prompt me with questions. And then it'll prompt you, ask you a question, you answer it, and it gives you an email that's a story. And that is a great way to email market people with something that's authentic and about you and not super salesy. So we can definitely have a whole mastermind about that, and we will. Just something that I thought of here. Does anybody else have anything that they want to jump in and talk about when it comes to daily habits? Cool. This was a really good call. Did you guys learn something today or take something away? Cool.
Nicole,
Yeah, go for
I
it.
was going to add one thing, and it's more so just a mindset, and it's something that I've learned since working, around like-minded people. Um, when we, determine that we're going to be working on something, or if we agree to take an appointment, during our office hours or whichever, we have to realize that if we're saying yes to that, we're saying no to something else. And most of the time, it's something that we've already planned for ourselves, according to our business plan. So that's something that over the last couple of years of me really buckling down and just getting serious about my bare minimum activities that I have to get done throughout the day. That if I'm saying yes and I'm agreeing to meeting with someone for coffee, or if I'm choosing to go and get my hair done or something, I'm saying yes to that, but that means I'm shutting the door on productivity somewhere else. And so being able to think about it that way, I think has really helped me figure out what's really important and what's really going to move my business forward and what's not. So that was just going to be one
I
little
love
thing I
it.
added.
That's one of my favorite sayings. And we should all be asking ourselves, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? If you say yes to a coffee date with a lender, you're saying no to an hour of time you could be prospecting. And I'm not saying don't meet with lenders, guys. Meet with lenders, but don't meet with every single one that reaches out to you. Be specific on how you do that. All right, so next week, this call is going to be every Tuesday at 10. Feel free to jump in, invite other people. I really want to use this as a real brokerage culture mastermind, where we just talk business. And also feel free to invite guests. If you are working on inviting somebody to the brokerage and they want to experience what this culture is like, invite them in as a guest to this call and have them be a part of it. So next week's topic, week 2 of every month, is going to be all things marketing. And so next week, we're going to kind of dive into personal branding. And to just use an example, I'm hoping that Ronnie Trunco and that group from Lindsay's team, they are a first responders team. And they really heavily emphasize that first responders branding, and they get a ton of business from doing it. And there's other people that do other styles of branding. So we're really going to jump into branding yourself, branding your team, how to develop it. That's going to be the mastermind next week. Thanks, guys, for jumping in. Anybody have anything else?
Go make it happen.
Whoop whoop. Have a good day. Make it a good Tuesday. All right, y'all. Have a good week.
Thanks.